Alright, first and foremost, I want to say Kalaim Lo Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Harakakudash Barakdam. Double honors to the elders and apostles. A great millstone will do rule and teach well. So it's nothing but peace, love, and blessings out there to the hopeful life. My brother here, Shema Shwan, in a new spot out here today. Usually I'm across the street. There's a little park area that I like to sit at. That spot really ain't the best. And there's another spot that I know that's in the Commons, but I don't really like that spot either. So I went down here to the local mall, and I found this store that's now abandoned. No one's using it. It's closed. This will just be my permanent camp spot, for the time being, because you can't kick me out of the store that ain't got no one fucking in there. You know what I mean? They can't kick me out of there. So today we just got some varying topics. Going to some articles. We're gonna probably continue on with the eugenics, and then I'm just gonna do most of my breakdowns coming from the King James. So yeah, let's read. I'll go into this one. What is this one called? Conducted 248. Yeah, we'll do this one. The U.S. has a history of testing biological weapons on the public, where infected ticks used too. The House of Representatives has instructed the Pentagon to disclose whether it used ticks to infect the American public with Lyme disease between 1950 and 1975. The allegation comes from Chris Smith, the Republican representative for New Jersey, a long-standing campaigner on Lyme disease. Smith says the claims are from a new scientist called Willie Bergdorfer. There are issues with these allegations, not least that Bergdorfer didn't discover Lyme disease until 1982, almost a decade after its claim that ticks may have been used. Other scientists have dismissed the claims, and there is no proof that they are true. But the U.S. does have a history of testing biological weapons on the public, so they're investigating whether the United States military put ticks on their own population, infecting their own population. All right, that's what's going on here. All right, and now they're just talking about this, but we're just gonna get in the scriptures. We'll just stick to some basic stuff. A little Psalm 64, maybe a little Isaiah 14. I'll just go into these varying things, and then if I want to talk about something else, I will. Plenty of stuff to talk about. It's real basic, brotherly love. Being a rebellious towards this world, having the spirit to be a man. All these different things, and I've been talking about that heavily, man. Like the elder brother apostle Rakah, he calls his channel Last Stand. I push harder, channels like that, man. And that's exhortation for the young brothers like me, man. That brothers like me, we really need that, Psalm 64:1, right? To the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And this is what we should be praying for, man. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy, man. All right, who's our enemy? Well, you got to go to Psalm 83. All right, our enemies are all these nations. And I actually want to make another point about that too. These nations are our enemies. When you look into it, all these nations, they've been taken over by Amalek and supplanted by Amalek. Now the history of Amalek, Psalm 83, keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consorted against thy hidden ones, man. And who's the Lord's people, man? The Lord's people are the nation of Israel, man. He's dealing with his elect, man. He's going to save his elect, his chosen. Right? The Lord ain't dealing with all of Israel, man. He's dealing with the elect, or the people on that sign right there. All right. They have said, come and let us cut. Let me actually look into that word hidden ones. Okay, so we can see hidden ones, right? I think that is. To hide treasure, store up. Age 6845, treasure up. Treasure up high from discovery. So we're the Lord's hidden one, man. He's hiding us from discovery. Alright, that's the people that he's dealing with. Now, certain hopeful elect are going to be jammed up in these concentration camps. Alright, but they're not going to get us all. They're actually not going to catch most of us. Most of us are actually going to be alright and live through this. Alright, but there will be a number that will be caught up, that will have to face execution. Alright. Actually, no, that is Tazapon. I think that's what that is. I said something else. That's Tazapon. Oops. I gotta go back into that Hebrew, man. Yeah, confederate against you, right? Verse 4 right there said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Israel be no more in remembrance." That's what they do, man. These nations, they get together, they have summits and these very meetings where these nations, they all get together. We see collude on how to take us out, man. How they want to keep Israel from being in remembrance. They want to cut off you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans from the scriptures, man. Keep you from looking into the scriptures and confuse you. They got you calling yourself black, Hispanic, Native American. They tell you to be a feminist, shoot for feminism, and all this bullshit. They got you niggas on lockdown, man. These nations, they all got together to go do this, man. You don't see Moab making posts telling you that, yo, you're an Israelite, man. You don't see Ammon doing that. They don't do none of that shit telling you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you're special. They're not gonna do that, man. They're just gonna let you guys, fuck yourselves over, and they're gonna, make the benefit, man. Like it says in the curses. Alright? They're gonna, they shall be the head, and I shall be the tail, man. These nations, they got supermarkets and fucking all this stuff in our neighborhood. Even when you go into like the so-called Mexican restaurants, a lot of them are owned by Ishmael, which brothers have said. Fucking brothers have brought out that a lot of them be owned by Ishmael, man. Even with these, and that's the thing too, man. This how ignorant Jake is, man. Because a lot of so-called black people, they'll come out and they'll say, "Nah, man, no Mexicans don't need no help. This car don't need no help. This car got everything made." Now, this car is a good worker, and that's according to the scriptures, right? That they will get them jobs, but Issachar is down in the dumps just like us, man. He may have a job and certain things, but hey, man, they ran by. I'm pretty sure you go into even the Hispanic news, they ran by Esau too, man. I know they got them tears up in there, man. Their countries are ran by tears, so on and so forth. But that's pretty much the point. Let's continue moving on, right? Oh, verse 5, Psalm 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Now, when you go into it, you could actually prove this when you go into like various histories of like even with the Arabs. You go into look into the house of Saud. The first man of the house of Saud was actually Amalekite, man. The Sauds actually come out of Jews, man, fake Jews. All right, what the fuck are they looking at, man? Think I got a gun on me, nigga? I ain't got no gun. Fucking weirdo ass niggas, man. That's the downside. This stop. Cars are a bit close, but the spot could be worse. Could be a lot worse. People that just fucking gawk at you and shit. Like I got a fucking machine gun in my fucking asshole or some shit, man. I got a machine gun in my ass or some shit. I'm just gonna pull that shit out and start spraying. Like, come on, man. That's what they really think, man. They just got, that whenever they see a so-called black man, that they think I'm just gonna have a fucking rifle or some shit, that I'm here to do violence, Well, but I'm not, obviously. I'm just out here to bring out the truth and then run away and go home. Make a strategic retreat. I like to call it running away. Go flee. Because I'll maybe we'll switch up topics, man. Maybe I might talk about this for a little bit, but this thing of ours, man, it's a spiritual thing. It's all about the spirit, right? Because these people out here, when they gawk at you and shit, it's more like it's just the demons that are on you. So maybe I might talk about that. Maybe I might talk about demons, and stuff like that. Maybe I might get into that certain things like that. Because that actually gave me some inspiration to switch up the topic. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just get a little bit of signs out here and maybe back up a little bit. And so on and so forth, right? We'll bring out some precepts like that. Because these people, they'll laugh and joke, but it's not really just them, you know what I mean? It's all about spirits. Angels, demons, so on and so forth. I know I'm making a huge shift here, but I really don't care, man. I might as well start here. Ephesians 2:1, and you have he quickened who are dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, which is the spiritual demon Satan, right? That spirit which now worketh in the children of disobedience. So as I was talking, man, it's all about spirits. Right? You have righteous spirits in the left hand, you have evil spirits, holy shit, righteous spirits in the right hand, wicked spirits in the left. Right? These people out here, they have wicked left hand spirits on them. And even though you're in the truth and you're the hopeful elect, we're willing, we're the hopeful elect, we can still have Satan jump on us too. But the thing is that though that may be temporary, we're not in that spirit of the children of disobedience, which is the spirit of Satan, man. All right, and who's the children of disobedience, man? You wicked jigs out there, as well as Esau, Edom, man. They're the children of disobedience, man. Because you can go into another one, where it says the wrath of the Most High comes upon the children of disobedience, right? Ephesians 5:1. Be therefore followers of the Most High as dear children, and walk in love as Yahushua Mashiach also have loved us, and have given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to the Most High for a sweet smelling savor. With fornication and all uncleanness and covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as become the saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving the saints. Alright? Walk in love, right? Love towards you, love towards your people. Alright? You read in the scriptures, man, don't suffer not sin upon thy neighbor. You look into that word neighbor, it means kinsman. Right? And kinsman means one of the same kin, right? And your kin is where you come from. Right? So you have to show that love towards your brothers, man. Don't be worrying about this world, man, the people in the world. Alright? Verse 3, the fornication. We can go into that word fornication next and see what that means. Fornication, porneia, right? We get pornography, right? Illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication. Damn, they really go all in. I don't want to read all this stuff, man. I actually want to put this on YouTube. I'm trying to get my YouTube up. But you got booty warriorism, female on female action isms, intercourse with animals. Oh, I never thought about that. That too, man. Bestiality. That's illicit forms of sexual intercourse. There's actually several forms of illicit intercourse, man. Doing it with your father, doing it with your mother, your grandmother, stuff like that, man. I could honestly go into that too. That might be a good idea, because I actually been meaning to do a whole sit down on incest with certain things, because it is in the history when you look at it. I think it's in the Book of Kings. I can't remember which wicked ass nigga did this, but he basically fucked his sister, and it was like it was in the royal line of like Solomon and King David. One of those wicked dudes slept with his own sister, and the woman said, "Stay with me, so I don't bear the shame alone, man." So that shows you that certain things are like, you have sins, but not all sins are to death. It's shameful, but it's not a sin, exactly a sin unto death. But I want to look into certain things, maybe read a commentary. Yeah, that is the Spirit leads me to do that. I'm not gonna, wing it. I'll probably, if I was gonna talk about it right now, I'd probably get a commentary or two off the hub, off the Bible hub, and do things like that, man. Because we want to be smart out here. We don't want to, just go off because we out here teaching the whole elect, man. I don't want to just put out the wrong information because I'm actually passionate about this. I'm not like these other fucking people ain't got no passion, nothing that drives them in their life, man. Just fucking lifeless husks is what they are. But you know how it is. These fucking people, man. They're fucking losers and lame. Yeah, there you go. Adultery. But I was looking at here, sexual intercourse with close relatives, right? That's also fornication. Never thought about that, right? But also worship of idols, which is obvious, right? The defilement of idolatry, as incurred by eating a sacrifice offered to idols, right? Because the Lord, He calls us His woman, all right? We're the Lord's woman, all right? Spiritually, okay? So when we go off and we deal with these other gods, these false idols, these demons, all right, that's a symbol of us basically cheating or committing adultery on the Most High, all right? Basically, when we get into that, right? So fornication, idolatry, all uncleanness or covetousness, right? Lust, let not be once named among you as become the saints. I actually want to look into that word name too, because right, ono mazo, ono admazo, ono mazo. To name, utter, make mention of the name, yet to name, be named, utter the name of a person or thing. Assign appellation, by extension to utter, mention, profess. To be named, person of a thing, right? I want to see what that word appellation means, because I actually have no idea what that word means. So we'll just go into it. It's important to get into the words. A name or title. Alright, so don't let these things be titled among you, right? Like a title is a naming, or you put a type under it, right? So like, you have a name, but you can also apply this to, right, title, right, mention, all that stuff, to be honest, to bear the name of, right? To be honest, all that stuff also goes, when you really think about it, into a reputation, right? Like if you have a good title, right, like a title of a general, right, that shows that you have a good reputation, right? So when you have a good title, by extension you have a good reputation. So basically what it's talking about is that we need to have a good reputation. Don't be committing adultery, don't be doing all this nonsense. Let it not be once named among you means don't get onto that type of behavior, and don't mention it among yourselves too, like fucking sneaking and trying to get with another brother's woman, man. That's fucking. I'm gonna be honest. This is straight stupid. I'm trying to be PG here, and I was gonna say the R word, but it's fucking stupid as fuck, man. I mean, you can pay for it. I'm telling you, it's just like what fucking 150 for a QV. I mean, it's not that much money, man. Like shit. I mean, I get it if you like hurting for women and shit. I mean, we all get that from time to time. Even dudes that are in the dating scene, you watch these manosphere guys, it's not always good, like you be on the dating websites, you may get a few dates, a few bites here and there, and then you may go for like a few weeks where you don't get any, or you don't have time. You can always buy it, man. You're not going off, man. You can always pay for it, man. One of the prophets slept with a harlot, so you're not off. That's why I said it's stupid. Alright, committing adultery is stupid. It's the stupidest thing you could ever do. Alright, and there's a history of that, which men who were once in this truth who has done this, and they've been kicked out. They've been judged, man. I think there was one guy, he fell off a building and he was paralyzed, man. Alright, so It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power, right? Ephesians 5:5. For this you know that no whoremonger, no unclean person, no unclean person or covetous man who is idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Yahushua Mashiach and of the Most High. Alright, so no whoremonger, no unclean person, no covetous man who is an idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Yahushua Mashiach and of the Most High. Right? So you can pay for it, you just can't own it. Alright, you can't own any prostitutes of your own, you know, and be selling them out and shit. You're not supposed to be doing that, man. If you're gonna have concubines and women, just have women, man. You know, don't be selling them off to other dudes. That's fucking different. You know, it's a shame I have to even mention that and explain that, but it goes on in the society with dudes who pimp out their women, you know, so on and so forth, man. You're not supposed to be pimping out no woman, man. Even if they're a heathen, you're not supposed to be pimping them out, man. You know? Just deal with it. It's not different, you know? So yeah, I'm in the spirit of putting certain things down, so I'm gonna put it down. And I got all this space, so I might as well fucking use it, you know what I'm saying? Right? Ephesians 5:6. Right, and that word for inheritance, right? That there's actually something in there. I think it's Clarano Maya. I haven't gone into this in a minute. So many scriptures, man. That's why I don't get into everything at the same time, right? Clarano Maya, the Clarano Mia, that's G28:17. The eternal blessings of the consummated kingdom are the completed kingdom of the Most High, which is to be expected after the visible return of Yahushua Mashiach. Exactly. But it will be respected. You know, it will be expected, and it will happen. It also will be respected. I think I said respected. It will be expected. It's gonna happen, man. All right. You know, when the elect, when they lead the chariots, the kingdom of heaven, you know, descending. What was it? Was it Kingdom of Heaven or was New Jerusalem? I haven't gone into that breakdown in a hot minute. I might do that. I might go into Revelation and just watch that breakdown again of every chapter. Or I could also use the King James. But, I'm pretty sure I know this one off of memory. Let me see here. Was it New Jerusalem? Was New Jerusalem descending out of heaven? There was something like that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Why would it fucking crash? It's so fucking lame as fuck. New Jerusalem. What was it? There we go. Revelation 21. I could probably start from the top. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Right? That heaven represents a rulership. It's not saying that there's going to be a new planet. You can read about that in the book of Ecclesiastes. The earth abides forever. So it's not going to be no new planet. It's just going to be a refreshed planet. Right? This planet that we're on now, you have rampant pollution. You have all these oil fields, all this garbage. I mean, in Ithaca, it's pretty good. You got lots of forest land. I can honestly show you some of this, man. You know, just take a look at that view. You got all that forest land up there, man. It's beautiful, but I mean, when you look up there, you got electrical lines. You know, you got all these cars. I'm in this fucking urban environment because, you know, we got to be at the chief place of concourse. You know, and this is what you got to deal with, man. You know, so and you got all this fucking pollution and bullshit all around. You know, so on and so forth. And that stuff ain't good for the environment, man. Even using things like concrete. You know, like, you're not supposed to be walking on concrete. I remember learning about that. It hurts your fucking ankles and your knees and shit like that. You're supposed to be walking on, you know, dirt. I think brick is a lot better because, you know, Jake was using bricks back in the day. Revelation 21:1, right? That's pretty much what that is, right? Verse 2. And I, John, right, John the Revelator, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Right, exactly. And what is that husband? The husband is Yahushua. Yahushua is that husband, right? The marriage to Lamb, us basically being of one mind with Yahushua, right? Like the scriptures talk about, the man and woman, they come together, which is roughly paraphrasing. The man and woman, they come together, they both become one flesh. They basically become one. The woman, her mindset is basically absorbed into the man's, essentially. Right? That's what it's supposed to be when you're married off. When you go into it, it's basically the father would hand over authority of the woman to, this man. You actually have in the ancient world, you had what you call it, the nuptial chamber, and you had a whole ceremony that would go down, where the father would basically hand off, his daughter, and that's actually biblical. It goes on to this day. You even with Esau, even though marriage today ain't the same, Esau. When people get married, they have the father there at the wedding. All right, so certain things still go down. All right, but of course all that stuff comes from the Catholics, and the Catholics, was really jake to begin with. So at the end of the day, it's just niggas. Niggas doing niggerly shit. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's pretty much the breakdown on that, right? Verse 3. Actually, no. That's pretty much it. I can also read a little bit more, right? Revelation 21:3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power." Exactly. It's not with all men. This means Israel, man. The Most High is not dealing with all men. All right, and you could read that even in Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21, man. Oh, it's Matthew 1 and 1. I think it may be Matthew 1 and 21, right? Yahushua said he shall save his people, and his people are the nation of Israel, man. All right, not everyone. Everyone ain't no Israelite, man. That's ridiculous, man. It's fucking nonsense. Whatever goofy ass, oofy doofy, special ed breakdowns and niggas come up with. They are pretty special ed. You shouldn't be offended by that. I mean, if you're running around saying that Edomites can be saved, that's pretty bad, man. I can't be diplomatic on that one, man. Let me see here. Where was I? There's something that I would like to get into and speak on. That's a good one. I just want to make sure that people see the camera so they don't make any stupid fucking decisions. But I was looking for something. Oh, I know what I wanted. I wanted a deeper breakdown. I wanted to see if I could get a deeper breakdown. So that's not it. Which of these websites did I have my breakdowns on, man? Damn. I know I have a breakdown for this, but it's not popping up for some stupid reason on this fucking iPad. I mean, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. I'm just gonna probably wait till I get home. Okay, now we're good. It was Safari. One of these things I had my shit saved already. My code saved. So yeah, that's that, right? Verse 4. And the Most High Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away, right? And this is only for Israel, man. There's a brother here from GMS FAQ last year, right? Wipe away all tears, man. And that hasn't happened yet. People that say the new covenant and all these things happen already, man. We still have tears, man. We all still have tears, man. You still die. You could live. You could be, someone you could have like a parent, and then they be in your life for all these years, and you just get a fucking disease and just fucking die, and you just gotta just fucking deal with it, all right? Or you can get a disease and you can die, and you gotta deal with it, so that's the type of shit that we can deal with. So I don't really get it. All these people are talking about that the new covenant is already here, man. Right? The new covenant ain't already here, man. All right? What the fuck is that? Get out of here, man. Yo, get out of here. Yeah, I didn't want to have to kill him, so I just plucked him away, a little spider. I try not to kill him if I can. I even try not to touch him because that stuff makes you unclean. But I gotta get rid of him somehow. Revelation 21. I probably should have started setting up a bit better, but whatever. This is a spot I'm normally never in this spot, but it's wide out in the open. You can't say I'm on the chief place of concourse, so it don't matter to me, man. Just over there, I don't like it because it's kind of fucking whack. We can go backwards a little bit. Revelation 20, Ephesians 5 and 5. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because these things come with the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. And the children of disobedience are basically these people in the world, man. Wicked Israelites, 2/3 of the nation of Israel who will meet their end here in America, as well as the wicked Israelites all across the world. All right, those of you, no matter what your tribe is, whether you're Judah and you're wicked, or you're Ephraim and you're wicked, or you're fucking Syrian and you're wicked, or any of these tribes, man. I didn't mean to say fucking with that, but whether you're any of these tribes and you're wicked, you're gonna get your judgment, which is nuclear missiles. All right. So we got a comer here. Someone's coming up. It doesn't matter who you are. All right. Let's continue reading on.
I've been waiting to see somebody. One of you guys here finally.
Oh yeah, I've been here for years, man.
Really, I didn't know that. I've been praying, God, please, because I don't have nobody for the Sabbath or nothing. I'm learning all this stuff.
That's
and
amazing.
she told me, she said, Grandma, there's a mess. I got to find him. We was all the way to the store. She said, there he is.
Oh, wow.
Stop the car. Wow, you going to film me, are you?
Oh, no.
Oh,
it's just on me. No.
Oh, wow, you here by yourself?
Oh, yeah. But, the Most High, he tells us that you got to do this thing whether you have people with you or not. This is, I think that's very spiritual.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Unbelievable. I've been watching these guys for like 10 years now. Yep. The IUC and IG, I can't even talk. But
yeah, you got great. I personally with Great Millstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're all different. We're not all the same, And I don't really recommend you deal with those other Israelite camps like IUIC.
Really?
Yeah, because even with Nate's a cop.
Yeah, he used to be a cop.
Yeah, he used to be a cop. I think there was even something where he got in big trouble for corruption.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend you mess with guys like Nate. They don't talk about things like.
Wow.
I got this right here, right? The mark of the beast, right? Mm-hmm. These other Israelite camps, they don't talk about this.
Yes, they do.
I mean, but they don't. They may not tell you it's the microchip. Like you got Nate, he won't say it's the microchip. A lot of guys with IUIC, they'll tell you that the mark of the beast is a philosophy or
I've heard that before.
doctrine.
I heard that before. I heard this. I heard that white man said the same thing. It's what's in your mind.
It's in your mind.
What you use your hand.
Exactly, and that's the truth. That actually came out of Great Millstone.
Yeah, and that's what IUC be saying.
It was from our teachers. And that's what it is. It's a mark, right? You look into the word in the Greek, it's charagma. And it's basically an implantable chip, and you're not to take this. There's no repentance. You know this.
Yeah, it's just so much going on, and it's been going on for so long. The division. Like I said, I've been watching these guys. It's not just the IUC. It's the other ones, a couple different camps, and they all basically said pretty much the same thing: who we are, what we are, and what's going on.
To a degree, but some of these other Israelite camps, you know, that aren't with GMS, they'll say like we should be focusing on like unity or trying to get everyone together.
Waking the tribes up. That's what God said in the last days. Gather yourself together.
It's the elect.
Gather yourself together. Nations not desired.
Only the elect.
12 tribes.
Exactly. Only other tribes, but not trying to get all the different camps together, right? Because the scripture said, "How can two men walk together lest they be agreed?" You know, so yeah, it's a lot of information. Do you have any like questions in particular or anything that you?
No. I've been watching those guys, and I'm 60 years old. I've been reading the Bible a long time. A lot of stuff that they prove everything they talk about.
That's right.
It coincides with the Bible. It goes right along with the Bible, so why wouldn't I believe it?
Exactly.
Even though we all got a past. I killed a man. Self-defense.
Right.
What does that make me? Does it make me a bad person? I did what I had to do. But now today where I stand, I believe in them. I believe in what they're teaching.
Right.
They're bringing the truth out, and they can handle the truth.
Exactly.
And it's sad.
It's all spiritual. As I
it's sad, yes. I always say it's spiritual, yes.
Demons. You know,
it's a realm we can't see, but they're all around us. I know all of that.
Yep.
I know all of that.
People, they'll laugh. They'll say, if you say certain things you're saying right now, try bringing them out at a job site.
But the beast, who do you think the beast is?
The beast is NATO and the EU. America, NATO, and the EU.
That's what they preach too.
That's what it is.
They talk about that too.
7 heads and 10 horns.
Look what's going on with Kanye. He's telling the truth. When is that gonna is anybody gonna say he's telling the truth? We are who we are. Who gives you the right to change that?
Exactly.
Who gives you the right to change the Sabbath? God told don't mess with nothing. His Bible is perfect.
That's right.
What gives you the right to the Sabbath day, Christmas? What gives you the right? Yep. And you saying that Kanye, what he's saying is they've been using us and getting rich, filthy rich off of us.
Yep.
And I don't blame him. He shouldn't have to apologize for the truth. We are the Jews.
That's right.
They're not the Jews.
That's right.
Jewish. Pertaining to, come on, when is common sense going to play a part in this?
I want to bring this out for you. A quick pick precept out of the scripture, right? All right. I'm not going to really get into the history of this, right? But this is basically from Balaam, who was basically hired by Balak when you go into our history, who was a Moabite, so-called Chinese today, right? He hired Balaam to basically curse Israel. Then the Most High Yahweh.
What did you read in Psalms 83, I believe, when he talked about... Yes, that's what God was. What was God telling us? They a tumult. They came together.
That's right.
With the Chinese. So what are you talking about?
I'm gonna break it down for you. I'll bring out some prophecies that's gonna.
It's already happening.
It's already happening, but
I'm trying to tell my family we are living in prophecy. You guys are missing it because you don't want to believe. You want to keep believing the lies that the oppressor told us. They didn't treat us right. Or hell, they gonna teach us right.
Exactly.
Come on. I'm sorry. I get so frustrated because common sense. Exactly. What other race was sit on ships? Enslaving was sold to somebody.
Right, Deuteronomy 28 and 16.
Yeah, people saying they're the cult. They're not no damn cult. They're telling the truth.
It's the truth. And even when you go into the word cult, the word cult goes back to culture. And that's what we are. We're a culture.
Okay, then it's a cult then.
It's a cult. It all goes back to culture.
I'm glad they all coming together. Like God said, gather yourselves together. This nation's not desired. That's what's happening. Prophecy fulfilling itself as we speak.
Yep.
If y'all don't like it, sorry, we got him on our side. And I was listening to some people on the video. They were saying it, and it makes so much sense. They want to keep us down because if we come back to God, He's going to protect us.
Right. Well, that's between the
He's
hopeful.
He's going to fight for us because it's spiritual.
Exactly. It's spiritual.
And they want to know who the devil is. He ain't down there. He walking around us.
Exactly. So you're so-called white man. You see that right there? Cesare Borgia.
Oh yeah.
That's him. But let me read this for you. Right. This is Numbers 24 and 17. I shall see him, but not now. But I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and the scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. And who is that? Who the world inwardly called Jesus, but his real name is Yahweh Shai. You already know this. You know his real image is that he's a dark-skinned man, a black man with white woolly hair with an afro. We got woolly hair. These other guys have got.
I'm saying it's common. When is common sense?
Exactly.
You carry our Bible. You walk around with our Bible. You stand behind the pulpit with our Bible, and you don't see what the Bible said.
Exactly. You know where all that comes out of, right? So you had a time where we were ruling Europe, right?
Yeah.
And then in the time of the Renaissance, when they started to rule, that's when they started to get that face in there with the
they whitewash everything.
Exactly.
They whitewash everything. You see the book from Russia, the Russia icons.
Oh yeah, the Russian icons.
They got the white man.
Yep. You got the dark images. You got the
when are we gonna come together? Because we got to stop these demons.
Right. But remember, the Lord is gonna seal a certain number, 1/3 here in America.
I know
that's what he's doing. So not all Israel gonna make it.
2/3 of us ain't gonna make it.
2/3 ain't gonna make it. See.
But it don't stop my belief. I believe, I just see it, prophecy just fulfilling itself.
Yep.
And when I see these men, these videos, all these men in unison marching through Chicago,
well,
look on the black people's faces.
They're not supposed to be doing that though.
What?
No, just marching. That ain't what we're called out here to do. We're called to be on the chief place of concourse. To carry the plank.
The hedges in the.
Yep.
You're supposed to go. You're supposed to go to where the people are.
Exactly.
And that's what they did. They marched to Chicago, and they let them know, here we are. Come together. You're not supposed
to be marching, though. You're supposed to just stand out here. It's called the camp. You have the wood with the 2 tribes. One for the northern kingdom, one for the southern kingdom. That's the camp sign.
Yeah.
That's what we're ordered to do, to go out here and teach.
But everybody,
all that stuff is for the show. Don't be deceived by the show. See this. It may not look as entertaining, but this is what we've been called to do by the Most High Yahweh. This is what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.
He still say to go to the people, hedges and the highways, hedges and highways, and go to them.
Exactly. Yep.
We are the church.
That's
and
right.
Have these people keep telling these lies that you're nobody.
That's right.
Ezra, you ever read the Apocrypha that they took out?
First Ezra, second Ezra.
What was it? Ezra 6:58.
Yep.
I can't stand it, guys. You have a good day.
You too. I'll just continue reading that on. See, that was through the Spirit, That was through the Spirit. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 18. And Edom shall be possession, Seir also shall be possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Exactly, that's what's going to happen in the kingdom, man. Israel is going to do violently, man. Seir is going to be a possession for us, man. We're basically going to take down Esau, as the scriptures say. We're gonna rule that land, man. That's going to be our land. All right, we can go ahead and get that. That's very, very comforting. Thwadi al-Bashim al-Shai for allowing me to have that encounter. He sent me here for that. Obadiah 1. Yeah, so this is the book of Obadiah 1:18, right? And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. All right, there shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. I mean that the so-called white man is going to be completely exterminated off the face of the earth. I mean, they won't be any of them. All right, the so-called white man, they're not going to reincarnate. Basically, they're going to be exterminated and they're going to be gone. And they're never going to come back. All right. I don't know. I think that might be a message that this might be the new holdout spot. I might make this permanent camp spot. This might be the spot now. Just in case maybe she might have like a son or something at home and he want to listen. Maybe that could possibly be fruit. You never know. But just to go into a quick testimony, I actually prayed for that as of late. Just to let there be some fruit. Anyone come up. And see what the Lord did. He brought me a good encounter, a positive encounter, man. And that stuff, you're feeling it right now, completely lifted up my spirits, man. But sometimes you be out here by yourself, and it's tough, man. You got to be that one man army basically, just to got to bring out all these precepts, bring out all these scriptures, and and do it by myself. But this is just temporary anyway, and I'll get with brothers pretty soon. But you got to show yourself as a man. When you have one guy, two guys, three guys, and I'm not gonna sit here being desperate for members, calling any old goofy people into the camp, right? Obadiah 1:19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain, the Philistines, they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. But the point was that they of the south, right? Who's in the south? In the south, your so-called Negroes, your so-called Negroes, American Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. Right? They are the southern kingdom. And they're going to possess the mount of Esau. Basically, they're going to take it over, and that's going to be their land. Right? That's going to be theirs. Esau's going to be exterminated after that 1,000-year time period is over, and that's going to be it for them. All right, verse 20. Coming to Mount Zion. Well, the rest we don't need to get into. But we can get back into that Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Or even we can go back into that Numbers, right? Because that older lady, she didn't want to stay. I was just gonna bring out this quick precept for the elderly woman. Numbers 24. We'll go back into this, right? And I'll just break this all down, right? Verse 19, Numbers 24:19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, right? Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth with the city. Right? Who's out of Jacob? Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Right? Jacob's name is really Yaakov. Israel's name in Hebrew is Yashar Allah. Right? Yashar Allah. Okay? And out of these tribes, out of Yashar Allah, you get the 12 tribes, right? You get Judah, Benjamin, right? And all the rest of the 12. Now that I'm thinking on it, since I'm here, I want to speak on this real quick. That woman, she had no idea who Balak and Balaam was. She was watching all these other Israelite camps, but then she never learned who Balaam and Balak was, and that's why we tell you, right, that you shouldn't be watching all these other Israelite camps, man. Right? What is it? Man is unstable in all his ways, man. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right, so you can't be involving yourself with all these guys because you won't get everything, man. All right, and these other Israelite camps, they don't talk about things like Numbers 24. They don't go into everything. They may go into certain things, but they don't do it to the same extent as Great Millstone. That's all I was trying to tell her. So it was a positive experience overall, but if they don't want to hear it, the blood's off my hands, man. I don't care, man. I just want to teach, bring out this truth, and then get out my merry way, man. I ain't out here trying to look good for nobody or some bullshit like that, man. All right, I'm only human, all right. Go out here and teach the truth, and go run away, all right. You should destroy him, right, to the marine for the sea, right? Verse 20, right? So Yahushua is going to come back to bring that destruction, that heat, right? All these nations are going to be afraid, right? I really wanted to go on. I was going to tell her about this one about Amalek, right? Israel should do valiantly. Verse 19, verse 20, right? And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Right? And who's Amalek? Because I want to go into that real quick. I didn't get a chance to go into it with that early one. I was just going to break this down and set her on her way because, we're not really supposed to be talking with women. A woman's lot is that she should be a keeper at home. So, I mean, if you do run into a woman out there on the highways and byways, you bring out certain things and then you let them go. And then let that be that. So right, we looked at him like he said, England was the first of the nations, but his latter end should be perished forever. So, how is the so-called Jew the first of the nations, man? Well, I'm kind of all over the place. I don't really care, man. This is a camp. I go through the spirit. Things happen and I switch up. But basically, we go into Psalm the 83rd chapter. You look at these various nations, like Arabs. You had the Saud family, the first Saud. He was a Amalekite, man. He was a fake Jew. You look into China. You had the Moab. You had the Kaifeng Jews of Moab, and they were in there and they were taking their little rulerships. Even out there, you have like really big synagogues out there in Moab, man, that are ran by these Amalekites, man. So they run the show out there, man. Elam too. Elam, when you go into Elam, there's certain regions that them Amalekites run, man. You can go into the Sazun family in India. All right, those are so-called Jews, man. They're really Amalekites. I'll call them fake Jews or Amalekites. Those are Amalekites. Because even with the word Jew just come from Judah, which means Yahweh. And Amalek is certainly not Yahweh. Yahweh are so-called Negroes. However, to bring this out, because it's a shame we got to bring this out over and over and over again. But so-called Negroes, they were all across Europe. Okay, they were all across Europe. Okay, Ireland, Scotland. All right, all these varying parts of Europe, and they were having sex with the Edomites. Why? Because the Edomites, they were ruling as the Edomite Romans. We took down the Roman Empire. We created the Holy Roman Empire eventually. Okay, and through the seed line of your father, you're gonna have, people that look like Edomites. They really go back to straight Negroes, man. They go back to Israelites, man. All right, they got down like that, man. That's why you look into certain things, right? They used to call Negroes burnt Irish. Right? Now, why were they called Negroes burnt Irish? They call them burnt Irish because that the Irish were dark, right? And they come out the same people, man. They know. Maybe they don't know, but they call them that. Through the spirit, we know what it really is, man. You got the Irish jig. They jakes out there, man. They straight jakes out there, man. So, if you're Irish or Scottish, you may have Mac in your name. Things like that. There's a chance that you could come out a so-called Negro, man. Believe it or not. It just depends on your spirit. And if you really feel a connection with this book, and this book really connects with you, connects with your spirit. You really feel a connection. These words I'm saying, and when I say this out there and it gets to the internet, when I upload it a few hours later, right? And these words are like, man, this brother, he telling the truth, man. I am an Israelite, man. I ain't no so-called white man. He said, I never got together with them fucking Edomites, man. Right? And then you could have blonde hair, blue eyes, man. You could look like Alexander the Freak for all I care, man. You go back to Israel, man. Alright, it all goes back to your spirit, man. Alright, so you could be Irish, Scottish. You got a lot of Israelites in Sicily, But then it's even in places where you wouldn't even expect, man. You could look like a Moabite. You could go back to being an Israelite, man. You got some that really do. Moabites that be doing breakdancing. Moabites be doing breakdancing and getting jiggy. I know a Moabite like that, man. At times past, I didn't know no better. I would have thought he was a Moabite. It's like, nah, you a nigga, man. he be getting, he be in the, working out this little workout tip, but he's straight, he's straight Israelite, man, straight up. But I ain't gonna tell him that though, cause he in the world, so I ain't doing that shit. If he happens to see me out here and say, hey man, I know it is, and maybe I might bring out a thing or two. To play on the spirit, but that was pretty much it on that, right? So she was talking about this whole Kanye thing, which I've been relenting to talk about this whole Kanye thing, because when I see all these things with Kanye and all these celebrities, these things have happened before, man. All these celebrities, they speak up on certain things. They'll say that, don't call me black no more, and then they'll smoke a cigarette or have marijuana in their hand, or say, oh, don't call me black no more, and then they'll, go out and kill their brothers and be in a gang or be blood or crip. All right, nobody want to hear that garbage, man. So that's why I haven't been talking about Kanye West, man, or Ye, which really goes back to Yah. All right, nobody's dealing with that garbage, man. All right, now I should pay attention more to it, but it's all the same stuff. Maybe give him some weeks. They'll crack him. He'll go back and he'll say, "I'm sorry." You never know. You never know. He might crack. He might not. It don't matter to us, man. Because when times were good, why didn't he speak up back then, man? You can't tell me he wasn't aware, because these guys in Hollywood, they're aware of our existence. They know about GMS. They're more aware about GMS. They know about the truth, but they don't care. But then when things are bad, then they start to say, "Oh, I'm an Israelite, man. Or I'm an Israel." When things get bad, man. Where were you when things were good? All right. You should have made that sacrifice. And if you're really sincere, and you should just come out and just say, "Hey, listen, GMS know the truth." And leave it at that, instead of going on all these interviews and stuff like that, man. You just say, "Hey, you should watch GMS." No, we're not asking for your money either. Just in case people are thinking like that. What else are we gonna get into on this, right? I think I might. Where was I even going with this? Where will we go? What will we do? We're at Ephesians 5, Ephesians 2. I was going into spirits and demons and stuff, right? Spiritual. There was spiritual on the left hand, spiritual on the right hand. Man. Spirits. Oh, I think I know what it's called. It's called the Council of Heaven, right? Council in the heavens, right? In the spiritual world, right? That was in Second Kings, I think. It was in Kings, man. That was in Kings, bro. First Kings. That ain't it. Slakia. Maybe I should look up council in heaven. He had a council that was in heaven. Yeah, there we go. It was 1 Kings 22. I haven't gone into this one in a minute, but we'll go into this one. This will be the last, closing scripture. And as I said, this is something that's been on my mind lately, and it just came and just like, when I first started hearing that more and more, like I've heard it many times before, but like now I've been in here, going on a year, maybe a year and some change now. Now it's like, damn, man, like, you begin to see it. It's like, that's really is what it is, isn't it? It's like a whole, spiritual dimension and side of things that, we just can't see, man. You can't see spirits, and don't you dare do that either, man. Don't be praying that you can see angels or some shit. There's a story of a guy who did that. He started to hear horses, and he had to. I think you had to pray to reverse that, man. So don't be praying to see angels, man. Or trying to do certain things. Lord's gonna jack you up if you do. Okay. So 1 Kings 21. Right. 1 Kings 22 and 18. The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Did I not tell you that you will prophesy no good concerning me but evil?" And I believe Jehoshaphat was one of the good kings of Judah. Most of them were, pretty bad. Idolatry bad. So, not looking too tight. That Adultery is never tight, and that ain't cool, bro. You know? Don't do idolatry. Verse 19, he said, "Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said in this manner, and another said on that manner. And it came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him." All right. So you got spirits in the left hand, all right, wicked spirits that do evil, and then you have spirits in the right hand, right, which do good. But you have righteous spirits that also can bring about someone's destruction, man. We're gonna have we're gonna have control over angels, spirits on the right hand, things like that. They're gonna bring out death. The angels are going to bring out death, so on and so forth. If I'm wording that correctly, you got angels on the left hand, angels on the right hand, right? They both do different things, right? Like those angels on the right hand, those spirits on the right hand, right? They bolster you up in the spirit, get you that spirit to continue pushing forward, right? You even hear about that, like the angels ministering unto Yahweh Shai, give them that strength to continue pushing, which that happens to us out there. When you may feel down for a little bit, and that's the spirits in the left hand, working on your mind, making you feel that way, and it has effects in your body, right? Like even if we're like looking at the science of that, like I'm pretty sure there's certain neurochemicals that are induced when you're not feeling too high, and likewise different chemicals when you're feeling good. So we know about dopamine and things like that. I'm not saying the Lord spikes our dopamine or whatever. I'm just saying that there's certain chemicals and brainwave activity that happens with your emotions, right? 1 Kings 22 and 20. And the Lord said, verse 21. There came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto wherewith, and he said, I will go forth, and I will be lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also go forth and do so. Right? Because Israel and other kingdom, they were going off, man. Them kings, when you read about that, other kingdom, they had some judgment, man. Burning in the house, getting fucked up, that shit. They deserved every inch of that shit, man. Northern Kingdom was going off heavy, man. Not to speak light of those things, because they were on some heavy spiritual, demon time, man. On some demonic, type of activity. You know what I mean? Verse 23. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning me. That's right. All right, so. As I said, that's what the Lord did. That's what the Lord does, man. He controls the spirits on the left hand and the spirits on the right hand. Notice I said the Lord, L-O-R-D, capital, all right, put that spirit, okay? Because the Lord controls spirits, all right? So, all willing, edifying, let's see, call Layim Lo Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash. Lord willing, you brothers will edify and shalom, brothers keep on pushing.